All right, so we're diving deep into Southwest Ranches, Florida today. Think about moving there, huh? Especially interested in what this town has to offer for families.
Yeah, seems like a lot of people are looking into it these days.
We're in luck.
Oh, yeah.
We've got this awesome guide from Antonio Ortega, LLC,
Local real estate pro.
the one and only,
Heard he's the best.
for sure. And he's put together all these insights, especially on schools and youth sports. Should be super helpful for families thinking of making the move.
Absolutely. And you know what I like about this guide? It's not just like your typical surface level stuff.
You mean like just listing schools and parks?
Exactly. It digs deep right into the details that families really care about.
So let's get into it. Schools.
Yeah.
Southwest Ranches seems to have a good mix, right? Public, private, elementary, all the way through high school.
Mm.
And I see they even mention those great schools ratings.
Right, right. But remember, those are just one piece of the puzzle.
For sure, for sure.
But what I appreciate is this guide, it doesn't stop at just those ratings.
It goes deeper.
Way deeper. It highlights those specific programs and the features that make each school unique.
Oh, I see.
Take, for example, Hawks Bluff Elementary.
Okay, yeah.
Gets high marks on grade schools.
Yeah.
Known for its STEM focus. But what does that actually mean for your child?
Great. Is it just like a fancy label? Or are we talking actual robotics clubs and coding classes,
Exactly.
science fairs, things that actually get kids excited about STEM?
That's what I'm talking about. And that's where this guide really shines.
So you see the details.
All the specifics. Like it mentions Hawks Bluff's award-winning robotics team.
Wow.
And they have that annual STEM night for families. So you can start to picture your kid actually participating,
Right.
not just imagining some vague idea of STEM.
Totally. That's so helpful to really get that picture. And it seems like St. Mark Catholic School is another great option.
Yeah, especially for families who prioritize those small class sizes
Right.
and a faith-based education.
But what about high school?
Oh, good question.
Does Southwest Ranches even have its own high school?
Ah, you hit the nail on the head. That's something the guide addresses right away.
Okay, good.
While Southwest Ranches doesn't have a dedicated high school within its boundaries,
I see.
it does clearly outline which high schools serve its residents.
All right.
So students in Southwest Ranches, they have the option of attending West Broward High School,
Uh-huh.
known for strong academics and athletics,
Right.
or Archbishop McCarthy High School, which is a private Catholic school, really rigorous college prep curriculum.
So there are options.
There you go, which is fantastic.
But how do parents even begin to choose the best fit for their child?
Yeah, that's a big one.
Feels like a huge decision.
Huge. And that's where someone like Antonio Ortega, LLC, can really be invaluable.
Makes sense. He's the expert.
He provides this fantastic guide to give you that starting point.
Okay.
But he can also offer personalized guidance based on your family's specific needs and priorities.
All right, so it's one thing to read about schools in a guide.
Totally.
It's another to have someone who really knows the area,
Uh,
can offer that tailored advice.
absolutely. And speaking of knowing the area, let's shift gears a bit
Okay.
to something else that families always care about: youth sports. It's clear from this guide that Southwest Ranches offers way more than just your average soccer fields. You're telling me. Southwest Ranches is definitely not your typical suburb when it comes to youth sports. Seems like this town has a real passion for equestrian activity.
Oh, yeah, for sure. The guide mentions the Equestrian Trails Park and the South Florida Equestrian Club. Is horseback riding really that big of a deal for families in Southwest Ranches? Or is it more of a niche thing?
You know, that's a great question, and while the guide highlights that equestrian scene, it also makes it clear that there's something for everyone.
Okay.
It mentions the West Pine Soccer Club, gives details about the programs, the costs, even scholarship information.
Oh, wow.
Sounds like they cater to a wide range of ages and skill levels.
That's important,
Right.
for families with kids who are serious about soccer.
Absolutely.
So it's not just about horses then. It sounds like there are options for kids who are into, more traditional sports too.
You got it. The guide even mentions opportunities for baseball, swimming, basketball,
Wow. Okay.
tennis, and even martial arts. It paints this picture of a community where kids can really explore different activities and find their passions.
Yeah. And remember how we talked about the guide going beyond just listing things?
Right?
Seems like that's true for youth sports too.
Absolutely.
It's not just soccer exists.
Nope.
It's here's where to find it, here's what it costs, and here's how to get involved.
Practical information
Right.
that families can actually use. I think that's a real testament to Antonio Ortega LLC's commitment to helping families make those informed decisions about life in Southwest ranches.
Yeah, it really does seem like he's thought of everything.
Mm.
Schools, sports. It's like he's created this roadmap
A roadmap.
for families who are looking for a place where their kids can thrive.
I love that. And it's not just about those individual
It's
activities.
about the bigger picture.
It's about how they all come together to create that sense of community. The guide emphasizes that connection between the schools, the sports leagues, the parks. It's all interwoven.
You know, this guide is starting to make me think that maybe Southwest Ranches is one of those rare places where you really can have it all.
Oh, yeah.
Great schools, a thriving youth sports scene, and that strong sense of community.
And if you're starting to feel like Southwest Ranches might be the right fit for your family, remember Antonio Ortega LLC is offering a fantastic deal right now.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
He's giving 10% of his fee towards closing costs for both buyers and sellers.
Wow, that's a significant saving, especially in a place like Southwest Ranches.
It's true.
It's clear he's not just interested in closing deals.
No,
He really wants to make the process as smooth and beneficial as possible for families.
exactly. So if you're intrigued by what you heard today, I'd highly recommend checking out AntonioOrtigalLLC.com. You can find more information about his services and that incredible offer. It's a great next step for anyone who's serious about exploring Southwest Ranches as their potential new home.
Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground today. We've explored the schools, the youth sports scene. It seems like Southwest Ranches really does have a lot to offer families.
It does. And before we wrap up, I want to leave you with one final thought. Imagine your family in Southwest Ranches.
All right.
Your kids are thriving in school, making friends on the soccer field, and spending weekends exploring those equestrian trails. What does that look like? What excites you most about that possibility?
Hold on to that image, that feeling. Because sometimes all it takes is a little spark of inspiration to take the leap and start a new chapter. And who knows, maybe that chapter begins in Southwest Ranches. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Okay, so we've covered the schools, the youth sports, and Southwest Ranches, but there's another piece to this puzzle, right? For families.
Yeah, what's that?
Parks. Green spaces.
Of course.
Gotta have those places where kids can just run wild and be kids.
Absolutely. And Southwest Ranches, they seem to have a really impressive park system.
Yeah, the guide highlights several parks. Like, there's something for everyone. It's not just for kids.
It really isn't.
Like, take Rolling Oaks Park, for example. Big open fields, perfect for, kicking a soccer ball around or having a picnic. Plus, it has those equestrian trails,
Yeah,
for anyone who wants to experience the town's horseback riding thing.
right. And it's not just about the open space either.
It's got more.
Oh yeah, Rolling Oaks has playgrounds for the little ones,
Ah.
picnic shelters for families to gather, birthday party,
Oh, perfect spot for that.
casual weekend hangout.
Definitely. And then there's that Equestrian Trails Park, which again, haven for horse lovers. But what about families who aren't into horseback riding?
Yeah, is there anything for them there?
Right.
Well, the guide mentions that Equestrian Trails Park also has playgrounds, sports fields, plenty of walking paths.
Okay, so it's not just for the horse crowd.
It's not. It's a great example of how Southwest Ranches really caters to a wide range of interests.
It's really cool how this town blends that equestrian heritage
Sure.
with those more traditional park amenities.
Yeah.
It's like they found that balance,
Yeah.
creating that unique identity, but still offering something for everyone.
Absolutely. And for those who maybe prefer a quieter park experience,
Oh, yeah.
the guide mentions Country Estates Park, described as kind of a peaceful oasis, walking paths, shaded areas, serene atmosphere. Sounds perfect for unwinding after a long week.
I love that. A park for every mood.
Right.
It's like they really thought about what families need to create that balanced and fulfilling lifestyle.
Yeah.
Speaking of balance, the guide also mentions fitness programs for adults at some of these parks.
Oh, really?
Yoga, aerobics, walking groups.
Oh.
It's like they're encouraging everyone to get active and stay healthy.
It all points back to that strong sense of community we've been talking about.
For sure.
It's not just about providing the amenities, it's about fostering those connections and encouraging people to really engage with each other and their surroundings.
And that's where someone like Antonio Ortega LLC really comes in.
Right.
I mean, he's not just selling houses. He's selling a lifestyle. He understands the community. He knows what families are looking for, and he's passionate about helping them find that perfect fit in Southwest Ranches.
And don't forget that amazing offer, 10% of his fee towards closing costs. buyers and sellers. It's a real testament to his commitment, making that home buying and selling process as smooth and beneficial for his clients as possible.
Absolutely. So if Southwest Ranches has piqued your interest,
Yeah,
we highly recommend checking out AntonioOrtigaLLC.com.
definitely do.
You can find more information about his services, browse available properties, get in touch, discuss your real estate needs.
It's the perfect next step for anyone who's ready to take that deeper dive into the Southwest Ranches lifestyle.
Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground today, from those excellent schools to that diverse youth sports scene, the beautiful parks. Southwest Ranches really does seem like an amazing place for families.
It does. And as we wrap up this deep dive, remember that feeling we talked about of your family thriving in Southwest Ranches? What resonates with you? What excites you about the possibilities? Hold on to that vision because it might just be the start of your next great adventure.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into Southwest Ranches, Florida. We hope you feel more informed and inspired to explore this vibrant and welcoming community. Until next time, keep diving deep.